Hello there and welcome to Barry Peatlings YouTube channel. I'm going to pick my best team of the 60s. This is what Murray Lawson printed out in a paper about 8 years ago. I'll start off from working. There was a team that Murray put in the paper about 8 or 9 years ago. So I'm going to give you a good rundown of all the players from that team. So I took a bit of working out the last time because when I went up there in it was about 208. Murray Lawson, we sort of done the thing out together, and it come down to me to pick the team. So I'll go from the back line first. Daryl Howler played for Dimbil, a very good footballer. Max Woodward, the fullback. Martin DeBille. Back pocket, Jimmy Pearce, Mararat. Gary Leach from Minyip. Wes Warwick, centre half back. Danny Lindsay from Ottawa on the other half back flank. The wings were Ronnie Kemp from Horsham. Centre man was Mick Simon, who was captain. I give him the captain's job. Morris Marks from Rapania on another wing. And the half forward flanks were Roger Webb from Ottawa. Graham Klein was centre half forward, star he was. And Wes Richardson, the captain and coach of Newell on the other half back forward flank. And the forward line was Charlie Toohey, the second rover, Ian Morgan, full forward from Rapania, and Robert Dunlop from Rapania. And the reserves I gave Johnny Ryan from Rapania and Graham Grosh for Newell from 19th and 20th. So I'll go back to Daryl Howland from the Dimbulla. He's a very fast, straight ahead player, had plenty of class, or very rarely beaten. Max Woodward, easily the best fullback in the competition. Very hard for full forwards. Even Ian Morgan was flat out kicking 2 or 3 goals against him. He was a very wiry character too and could play. Jimmy Pearce was generally a half-back flanker for Ararat. I've got him in the back pocket. He was a very dashing, very quick. His size, 6'2", and hard as nails. The half-back flankers were Gary Lears. He was a very underrated player, Gary Lears, from Minyip. He got in my side pretty easily too. Wes Warwick at centre half back. He was never beaten. He always looked old, but he played young. Denny Lindsay, he won a couple of Toohey medals on the other half back flank. Champion footballer he was, and a good fella. On the wings, Ronnie Kemp from Horsham. He was just about the best wingman in the league when I was up there, from between 60 and 65. Very quick and didn't waste any possessions either. Mick Simon, the captain of Rapania, played for Victoria and played for South Melbourne. Easily the best centre-man player in the competition. He was probably on his last couple of years when I started up there, but he was really beaten, Mick Simon. And the other winger was Morris Marks from Rapania, a very dashing Aboriginal footballer he was, and he was very, very classy. I think it was a couple of VFL clubs were after him back in the early 60s, but he stayed up in Rapania. The other half-forward flank was Roger Webb from Ottawa. Very dashing. He used to generally play centre half forward for his team, Ottawa, but I got him on the half forward flank here. But Graham Klein from Martin DeBille, he was easily the best centre half forward in the competition. Easy in the centre half forward, kicked a lot of goals too. The other half forward flanker was Wes Richardson, coach of Newell. Always played in the centre for his team, Newell, but I got him on the half forward flank here because Mick Simon was a bit better than him in the middle, I think. The forward pockets was Charlie Toohey, top little row from Horsham. Could play the game, pretty tough too he was. We had some great duels, Charlie Toohey and me. And of course, Ian Morgan, the full forward, this fellow was a superstar. 2 or 3 clubs tried to get him to go to Melbourne in the 60s, early 60s, but he had a couple of, went down to Geelong in 62, I think, or 61. Played in a couple of practice games and kicked 5 goals, but he wanted to come back to Rapania. But he could have made league football, could have played league football without any shadow of doubt. The other forward pocket, we had Robert Dunlop. Of course, everyone knows Robert Dunlop played for Essendon, played about 5 years. No, it might have been 4 years at Essendon in a ruck down there, and under who was the coach of Essendon, I forget it now, but he was very good ruck on Robert Dunlop. The interchange was Johnny Ryan, my mate. We went up together for Rapania. He's the first emergence, a 19th man. Well, 19th and 20th was this business here this time what I'm talking about. And Graham Grosh from Newell, another very good rover from Newell, champion, Very good goal sneaker too. Kicked a lot of goals. The coach, Mick Simon, I give him the job as coach. Johnny, I just given him in front of Donny Cater, who played for South Melbourne and Nil, but I gave Mick Simon the job as captain and coach. I put myself in the vice captain. I think I was entitled to get the job as vice captain. Had a couple of 2 or 3 good seasons up there, probably 4 good seasons up there. And I reckon I sort of just about fit in as a vice captain too. But I'll tell you something about some of these players in the team here. With Darryl Howland, he was a very dashing footballer, and I think he used to play centre back for Nil, but I didn't will I mean, but we had some very good footballers up there. Of course, Kevin Della, I beg your pardon, there's the emergencies here. Kevin Della for Horsham, Robert Shipsides from Dimboola, and Larry House from Stool. He was very unlucky not to get it, and so was Peter Sheridan. They were 2 other good rovers. I think, I fancy myself as a good rover too, and the other fellow was Charlie Toohey, but Larry Harris and Peter Sheridan, they were very unlucky not to get in that 18 start because I got myself vice captain of this team anyway, but I think I was entitled to be because to get this story done by that and there, I'll tell you what, you've got to have a little bit more talent than normal. I think you get the sports writer to give you 2 or 3 back pages and give you the chance of picking your team. But I'll tell you something about some of the players here. Morris Marks is a very dashing footballer. He Aborigine was he, but he could turn a game within 5 or 10 minutes, get the ball, drive it down the middle of the ground, into the goal square, into me and Morgan. But it was Gary Lees was tough as nails. Wes Warwick, I think he might have been born old because he was old all the time, but he hardly ever was beaten in the marking duels. He's only about 5'10". Of course, Denny Lindsay is probably one of the toughest halfback flankers I've played against. I didn't play on him, but I played against him in a few games. He used to give me a couple of beltings, some the old shoulder. But apart from that, he was a good fellow. And of course, Jimmy Pearce, his eyes, he had the biggest eyes you've ever seen. He frightened the life out of you coming towards you. And Max Woodward, he was a pretty quiet sort of fellow, but a very dominating fullback, very rarely beaten. There was some of the other players I want to talk about. Wes Richardson, I think he won two medals, runner-up twice, not a bad effort for 4 seasons. He used to play in the centre for Neil, but I got him on the half-forward flank because Mick Simon got the job in. Mick Simon's a superstar, mate. Everybody up there, if anybody was ever up in the Wimmera League back in the 60s or 66, he was very rarely beaten and didn't waste 1 possession in his life. And who else do I give the bill? Oh, of course, Ian Morgan. He was 17 when he played his first game. I think he kicked 6 goals in his first game. But when I got up there in 1960, he was permanent full forward, averaging probably first couple of years I was there. He kicked between 60 and 80 goals first 2 years, and he missed out on 163, I think. But I think he got up in his 80s and nearly 90s. But everybody used to travel miles to watch this fella, and he was only about 5'9". He'd take the mark of the day every week. I'm telling you, well, not every week, but most of the marks he'd taken up, just one grab, stand on top of the fellas' heads and everything. People used to travel miles to watch him. I used to watch him myself when I was playing too. But I gave him a few goals. I used to look after him for my stab passing and drop kicks. But that back in them days in the 60s, it was a very good years for football up there because the crowds up there was phenomenal. I mean, we used to get a home game at Rapana. We get about, I reckon it was about 12 or 13, about 1,200 quid gate, and that was a lot of money. And that was probably 4,000 or 5,000 people at Rapana. In the 1961 grand final, there was 12,000 people. No, 13,000 people, and that, I've got that on video. It's on one of my other YouTube, the whole game of that 61 grand final, and it was the best competition outside the AFL back then. There was no shadow of doubt. Better than the Hampton League and the Ballarat League and all the other ones, but that was the best. We got the best of the players from Melbourne too. Used to come up to. They used to get paid. I was getting paid really good money out there. I was getting. think it was about 12 quid a game. And the VFL back in the 60s, I was getting £10.10. I was getting £12.10 a game. I mean, it was enormous. I didn't sort of realise back in them days, but 250 quid at the end of the season wasn't a bad sort of. But me and Johnny Ryan, my mate went up with me. I took him with me, and we was getting £12.10 a game. Amazing money, but he got one of the best affairs in 1961, my mate, and I was runners up twice, I think, in the first 2 or 3 years. But and I was runners up in the goal kicking 5 times to Ian Morgan, which wasn't no disgrace because he was a freak, this fella. If anybody was around back in them days and seen his play, see the way he played, took these marks and kicked 65-yard drop kicks, both feet. No problem in the world. I've seen, I beg your pardon, kicked 2 or 3 65-yard drop kick goals from the middle of the Rapagna ground. It was unreal to watch. But I thought I'd try. I was talking to one of my friends today. I said I'd do this when I went up to. I was talking to Murray Lawson about 9 years ago, and he said, "Why don't you come up and pick a team for your best team in the Sixties?" I said, "I might do that, Murray, because he's a very he was the number one reporter back in them days, but he's still up there working in this Voice of Mail Times." And we went up. I went up there and I picked this team, and I just thought it might have been a little cutting in one of the back pages. Front page, I'll show you here. This page is a bit rugged here. That's the front page there. And so I get here, and there's a team there, all there, with my head on there. I think there's a bit around here. But it's a very good coverage of what I was unexpected to just see a little sort of square that my team, but it was front, back, and the middle pages. But getting back to Rapagna, those days up there in the early 60s, every game you play was nearly a packed out ground because the public up there, they just loved their football, and it was just it was good to run out in the ground. There's people everywhere, and of course the 1961 grand final, which that's on my YouTube, so you can check that out. You just look down the index of my YouTube, and you'll find out that the 1961 grand final in colour, and it's probably about 25 minutes. It's a whole. Well, it's not the whole game, but it's a fair bit of coverage. And what was I going to say? The Women's League back in them days, it was boom. It was the best competition outside the VFL back in it. Hampden League and the Bendigo League, it was nowhere near as popular as the Women's League, because we won the 1961 Women's League, not the Women's, the Interleague Championship for the whole competition. Hampden League, Bendigo League, Ballarat, we had the best team and won, recognised number one competition outside the VFL. So I think that's about all I can tell you for this little thing. I thought I'd just do this because I have showed this cuttings a couple of times the last couple of years, and my mate Colin said, "Why don't you do in detail of that side you picked?" And that's what I'm doing. And so I hope you all. I hope everybody out there enjoyed what I was telling you about, because it was a booming time up in the Women's League in the 60s up there. As I said before, when I was doing the team placings there, most of the grounds are in the competition. They're all packed out. It was, especially in Rapagna, because they'd never been in the final till we got. I went up there in 1960. We got knocked out in that first semi-final because I wasn't playing that. And that was another headline for me. Peatlings absence will turn game in Arrott's favour. That was another headline you give me in 1960. But in 61, we got finished up second on the ladder, won the second semi-final, went straight in the grand final. We won the grand final by 11 goals. So if you want to check that out, it's in my YouTube, and go down the index and just look for the 1961 grand final. It's in colour, and you'll get a good idea how big the crowd I was telling you about now. And but that's nearly about all for I've been going to do this for a long time, but now I've finally got it done. I hope you enjoyed what I've been telling you, who was in the side. You might, if you were up there in the Wimmera League back in them days, you might remember, and you couldn't forget Ian Morgan. That's one fellow you could not forget. Because Mick Side was a superstar. There's about 6 coaches in that team, I think. But it was a very thrilling time. I was glad I was up there. I finished up playing my 100 games, and I left there in 1965. Got offered to go over to the Golden Valley, beg part of the Golden Valley League, and play with Lemnos. And did we win the premiership there? I think we did win the premiership in 1967, I think. And I ran second in the best and fairest and won the goal kicking for Lemnos Football Club. And I finished runners-up twice to Ian Morgan. No, 3 times to Ian Morgan in the Wimmera League with Rapania. He won the goal kicking 5 years in a row. And I think I finished up runners-up 3 times. And so it was pretty well shared around with Mr. Morgan. You got the ball out the centre of the ground. You could see it when he started leading the old stab pass. I used to kick the stab pass back in them days. So did Mick Simon and get him on the chest. But he used to love that. But it was a great time up in good old Rapania. As I said, I went to Shepparton and played there for 2 years, and I come back to Melbourne in 68. But it was a great time in the 60s for Barry Boy, and some good old memories. And Murray Lawson, my very good friend and the #1 sports writer in the Wimmera League, is he gave me plenty of raps when I was playing up there. He was a very good fella too. Actually, he's the one that instigated me for doing this, picking the team. So that's about all I've got for. Beg your pardon. That's about all I've got to tell you today about this thing. This Barry's team of the 60s. So until next Monday, we'll be covering whatever's going at the Chelsea Football Club, and because I'm involved with the Chelsea Footy Club, and a great team. They're going all right too. So till next week, it's bye bye from me. See you all next week. Bye bye.